What is up, my peeps? It is Deej here, and I've got a Rogue versus Mage video here for you in WoW, and this is for the 5.05 update right before Mists of Pandaria come out, but I believe this will be very similar for when Mists actually comes out. So if you're watching it then or now or before, just take it all into consideration. This here is a losing match, and this is what I was normally encountering with mages. Now, take in mind my cooldowns are gone, but before the patch and the new skill system, I was a hardcore subtlety rogue, and I found out that the new way is definitely mutilate assassination. And this is a little video on how to show you the awesomeness that it can bring you. Anyway, this is what first started. I encountered all these mages doing this to me, crowd controlling me like a mofo. But so I got 3 more matches here from 3 different mages, and so let's just get into little tips and tricks for you. Like I said, first off, you want to go with assassination, and although I don't have the poisons in here, you want to have crippling poison and deadly poison. I was using wound a lot, but you know, the good thing is you can change them on the fly. I would still use wound maybe against like a paladin or a druid, just so they don't heal as much, or even maybe a priest. But I want to make this video especially because priests and mages seem to be my biggest trouble with the new update, and priests will tackle next, but mages by far are the worst as far as damage goes on you, so you got to get them quick, and that's the good thing about being a rogue is you can. So you always want to open up with a rupture to silence them, get those powers, those points up, try to get a kidney in there, and then you know you want to unload on them. And what I like to do is pop vendetta and my trinket that gives me 2400 extra agility, just so I can power through them. If you don't get them between then, it's going to be a little bit of a battle, but it definitely helps drain their life at first. So see what we're doing there. We get them into an ice block, and what I do is shadow meld, get another one of my vanish type things in there, and open back up with another rupture. That's one of the biggest things you can do against a mage and most other casters, is you want to open with that rupture. And I do have the glyph in there to add a little more to the silence. And like I said, you just want to hurry up and get them down. And another tip, like I did right there, is you want to save your Cloak of Shadows as long as you can until they start popping their cooldowns. Once in a while, I will pop it early. It's a very dynamic thing when you're PvPing WoW. If you're well, most of you know that if you're watching this, but I never set myself to a standard set of rules. I only pop this then or whatever, and you know, so I just feel it out and I do it. Like in this one, I'll pop Cloak of Shadows early, and but I still think when I did it, it was very useful just to get back on him. So yeah, a sap and a rupture. That's the way to go. I do have one of the skill perks that allows me to open with cheap shot and add some extra damage, and sometimes that's viable, but with a mage, I mean, I almost always, like 98% of the time, go with rupture, just because it cuts them off from doing much at first. And anyway, yeah, so I mean, look at that, 2200. That dispatch is really cool. I'm really digging the dispatch since the new update and all that. But yeah, you see me use Cloak of Shadows earlier just so I could get back on him, and I knew I was just hitting him hard. I don't know what his gear was, but I noticed he was squishy, so sometimes you just got to pop those quality things early. Like I said, I don't set myself to any standards. This last one, I hit this guy hard, so he must have had lower level gear, but still, it was worth watching because like you seen in that first one where that mage kept controlling me, you can tell that this guy keeps trying to, and like here, I went with mind numbing at first, but then I was like, no, screw it, crippling, so I can stay on him. That's sometimes the on-the-fly decision you have to make, but generally crippling and deadly poison is the way to go. And see, I popped it again early there just so I could get on this guy, and he blinked away. I shadow stepped, and that's another cool thing with the new update, is you can mix shadow step with all the other classes instead of just subtlety. Look at that, 2 back-to-back 20Ks. Anyway, this is my little video on the new rogue versus mages. It is possible. A lot of rogues are having trouble with mages, so just get your trinkets out there, time everything right, use your Cloak of Shadows properly, and watch their CC. Other than that, peeps, stay gaming, and I'll see you in the mist.